everybody, this is Chuck and thanks for stopping by my channel. As I always mention, I really appreciate your time. This Screwy Tuesday, it's New Year's Eve, January 1st, so Happy New Year. This Screwy Tuesday will be kind of a top 10 of items that I've done in my shop or built in my shop. And be a quick one. But in some of these you've seen in past videos. I have lots of new subscribers, so they may have never seen it. So hopefully it's helpful. So let's start off with number one right here. And it's this guy. Now, this was not my idea. Mike Klotz at Blue Hands Video. I seen it one day years ago, and I went, oh, what a labor saver. I always had the roll of paper sitting someplace, had to fight to get it, cut it on the floor. This is so simple. The razor blade sitting there on a magnet, come across, cut off the piece of paper I need, whether I want to cover a table or mask off a part or whatever. It makes life enjoyable. So look and see where you can hang one. I made my own little rack to cut it, and nothing special. All right, that's number one. Let's move on to number two, and I'm going to do a handheld on this, and we'll be right back. Number two, for filming purposes, was this monitor mount that I picked up, and I 3D printed sleeves, receivers for it, so that it basically just lifts right up out of it, slides back in. Really great. Don't have the tripod issues. It swings around, it's vertically in height, and I can mount my camera to it with a quick connect right there. Better than this one that I did. Tried to cobble this guy together so it would be over the lathe. I was not really happy with it. It worked. But you can see there's a mount there at my surface plate, and there's a mount behind the 10EE. This is the mount you just saw. There's another mount there printed behind the drill press, so I can use it here at the surface plate also. There is one, and there used to be one here at the closing lathe. I took it down when I added the second rack. I still need to retrofit that. And then down at the tooling cabinet, there's one on the side of my tooling cabinet here at my bench. There's my son Tim. December 30th was his 3-year anniversary of passing on. Certainly miss my little boy. And there's another one here on the side of my tooling cabinet for the mill. And out on the welding table, hang on, we'll go for a little walk here. Out on the welding table, there's this guy which plugs into my bench. Sorry for it being dark, I just walked out here. So, that's number two. I'm going to probably lose count here, but I think it's number three now. Is two items here. Of course, you've all seen this in the past. My steering wheel on my mill and how I adapted it. So it basically slides on, slides off, I should say. I still have my adjustable handle, and it can slide right back on. It's just the cat's. I did do a video where I made a joke about this thing lighting up the mill and stuff. It's in my archives. All right, the next one, and I'm losing track here, so we're just going to go without numbers. This is my power drawbar on my mill, and this is a variable, or not a variable, step belt pulley on a mill. So if you have a variable speed unit, it's got a plate up here that the power drawbar can bolt to. What I did is I made an elevated plate for it, and I made it so if you looked in there, I can still get a wrench on the drawbar with the power drawbar attached. And that's come in handy many a times for different fixtures on the bottom of the quill to tighten. So really happy with that. It's been flawless, been really, really good. And as I back up here, here's another great addition. And you guys have probably seen this before, but I throw that switch and my air compressor powers up all the air in the shop. Shut it off, the air just shut off, and it's just fantastic. I can see the idiot light, so to know that if the compressor is off or on. And basically, just walking back here, there's a solenoid. So here on my air tank, I've got a main shut-off valve here if I want to shut everything off. And this solenoid right here is what turns on and turns off the air. It's just the cat's meow. I'm having to walk all the way back here and hit a button to get it started. All right, let's go to the next one. I think we'll stay handheld here. Hang on, we'll do some walking. Let's see, I got a little list here. Lathe height tool. Let's do the lathe height tool. So I should have cleaned the lathe back here. I've shown this before. Let me give it a little sweep. But my lathe height tool is this guy right here. It's this bar, and it's got this is from a cutter grinder. So it's 1/8 inch, so you got a 1/16 and a 1/16. So you can go underneath or you can go on top. And you can move it around. Let me get you in camera there, I'm sorry. You can move it around to check height. Where are you? I don't know if we're in focus there or not. Very simple. The nice thing about this setup is if there's something in the lathe, I can drop this down, go beyond, and reach all the way out here if I had to. I can reach anywhere. So it's really, really a trick setup for setting your lathe height. And just to show you, if I turn it around, it better be right on my, there it is, right on my life center. Now, what I was using, I am using, I should say, on my clawzine, this is something I made years ago, which was a machinist square, and basically it would be the same thing, is it would sit here on the cross slide and reach out and touch. It works. I can reach and set a height on a tool, but there's no way to reach around a part if there's something in the lathe. That's where the other one that I made works out so great. All right, we're going to go for another walk. Next walk is two things. Out here in the main shop, I'll turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. Okay, I've shown this before, but my welding table. It's dubbed the Swiss Army knife of welding tables by my buddy Dean Crawford, RE Cave Shop. You can see I've got everything I really want. I got to tell you, first off, to be able to work on a heavy table like this, it's just really, really nice. But you can see I've got a Sawzall hanging there. I've got a grinder hanging there. I added this drawer that just rolls out, and have just about most of all tooling that I need when I'm here at the bench, which has worked out great. Hammer hanging on the side, and then miscellaneous tools underneath here. The D'Arco bender, the hell you call it, a Whitney shear? Not a Whitney shear. Beverly shear. Hi, honey. Beverly. Stuff stuck underneath. Got a vise there. All my C-clamps there. I just added this on the bench, which is a copy of Ron Covell's bender on the side of the table. That was a little ad that I did. And then the receiver. This receiver's been the cat's meow. All the different tooling on the other side that I had there. Here you can see I've got another vise, I've got an anvil, I've got a buffer, and there's another bender. All go into that receiver. Works out great. I added this drawer that has all my clamps down in it. So this table's been just fantastic. It weighs a ton and it just moves with the pallet jack. And the pallet jack has a place to hide. Okay, next one. This is something I don't use that often, but two little things that I did here is my little arbor press. Is one, I mounted it on the side of my hydraulic press, which now it's up at nose level for me, so I can see what I'm doing when I'm working on it. And then years ago, I made an adapter here so I could actually put a wrench on it, a torque wrench. Cheap Harbor Freight torque wrench, and I can ratchet up and back, and I added a handle off the lathe on the other side. It's just been a great addition. It's bored here, so I've got multiple tips that I can put in it, which are over here. And it's been a great little setup having it there. I won't go into the bandsaw pallets, but you've seen those in recent videos, and I've got different methods of holding small parts on the bandsaw. And the finale, one of the most happiest things I've done. And I don't know where I'm on this is number 10 or not, but don't hold me to it. Hanging the brush and the dustpan on the garbage can. Since I've done that, I have not had to walk around the shop looking for my dustpan and brush. They're right where they need to be. As soon as you dump, you hang them, you walk away. One of the best things. Not my idea. A fellow named Frank Ford. If you look him up, he's got a great website. I don't think he does videos, but I've built a bunch of the things that he's shown. But hey, do that and you'll be happy in your shop. Okay, I'm going to turn you around. And I'm going to call it quits. I hope you enjoyed the quick Screwy Tuesday here. And I hope there was some things that you found that you may want to do in your shop to help there. Never did finish painting up there. 1989. All right. Happy New Year, guys, and we'll catch you on the next Screwy Tuesday.